Hello everybody and welcome to the third round of the fourth season for the EERC Formula E Championship as well. Two very exciting races have passed us in Berlin and Santiago, but actually the championship being led by a driver who has not actually won a race yet this season. Norbert Precker finished with 10 points in Berlin, 18 points the second in Santiago. He leads by 1 point to Michael Krosch, who's in second place on 27. 2 points to Zoltan Toth, who won in Berlin, but then dramatically crashed out in Santiago and retired as well. Little to say is that we're coming here to Mexico on the correct new modification of the circuit as well. So we've got that long little bit of like a cat's tail at the exit of the what used to be turn 1. Now is the fast moving turn 3 on the new part of the circuit as well. Alongside me in the commentary box once again is Tom. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're listening around the world, Tom. It's going to be an interesting one today, and after last weekend, it's literally anything could happen.
And of course, Zoltan Toth has decided that he's had enough of the championship and he's out. So he will not be going for his title, which I think is perhaps a little bit disappointing. It looks like it's going to be Pascal Leggett and Norbert Precker. And of course, we have got the old traditional famous corner of this old circuit at that final turn, and his name escapes me ever so slightly.
Peraltada.
Peraltada, of course. How could I forget that corner? But that is the final corner of this circuit. They've gone back to the old traditional Peraltada layouts, as that's not ideal. From whoever we're following now, it's Aidan Coleman, who's in second position. And let's go to the timing and tower graphic for you. And well, we've got a few moments until qualifying starts, and I think it's going to be a really good race today, Josh.
Absolutely. Don't worry, it's not 2 hours 35 minutes of practice. This is going to be cut down shortly to go to qualifying in a couple of moments' time. And it is going to be an exciting race as Pascal Leggett goes to P2. 109.099 is Joshua Hamilton for the E-Media Racing in the 16 squad. He's got the fastest time at the moment on a 108.9 as well. Aidan Coleman goes in P3. The championship leader, Norbert Precker, P4. Mandit goes into P5 for the 360 Motorsports in the 58 car. That's a 109.949 as well. Wide range of times out there at the moment as well around this 2.606 kilometer circuit. The Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez as well hosts Formula 1, Formula E, and it's even trying to get back on the IndyCar calendar as well. But this track has hosted many a dramatic moment in Formula E over the years. Most notably, of course, Verline running out of energy and Degrassi winning at the last corner. It's a possibility that could happen today, though, because we saw in Santiago, energy management did become a key factor in the race. It was the battle between the top-paying positions, especially with Pascal Leggett as well, who had to go out there and try and win the race while keeping Zoltan Toth behind. It's a shame Zoltan isn't racing anymore, but Norbert Precker certainly came out of the woodworks, and he's now the championship leader, Tom. Can he retain that after this weekend?
I think definitely. I don't think Pascal Leggett's going to really be pushing him to the line. However, as Pascal Leggett has really driven well last weekend, of course, took the victory. It's only 3 points separating the top 4 in this championship, and that's quite impressive. I think it's Norbert Precker, Michael Cote, and Zoltan Toth, and Pascal Leggett, the top 4 of this championship. And the span of that is 28 points to 25 points. Of course, WEC have also raced at this circuit. The 6 Hours of Mexico was held over a couple of years in 2016 and 2017. They haven't returned since. However, it is a track of lots of heritage. And well, it's nice that it's found a little rhythm with Formula E and Formula 1 over recent years. And I think it's a lovely little circuit indeed.
I love how Formula E is the only world championship that can actually safely use the Peraltada corner. It always amazes me that if Formula E can use it, why can't Formula 1? But I did ask somebody about this. It's because the Formula 1 speed to the last corner, they would be in 8th gear at the exit. and the approach zone for turn 1, it'll rev the engine too much. And by the time you hit the brakes, your tyres and the brakes will especially be cold. So that's why. Got a car round coming out of turn 3. That's one of the special one-off liveries. Joshua Hamilton goes back in to the pit lane as well. I think it's number 12 who was just down there as well. So 12, it's Stephen then. Oh, Stefan coming through the back there. Alex Chong's gone P5 across the board. Christoph coming across the line in the 63 and goes P6 on a 109, a 806, and nearly does put it in the wall at the exit of the first corner and retreats back to the pit lane quite easy. An interesting note actually about Formula E and Formula One, as we've been talking about it. The row is still ongoing between Mercedes and the FIA. The fact that no Formula One or Mercedes or Formula E title-winning cars of Mercedes are currently at the gala this evening. So that is a bit of a worry whether or not Mercedes continue in either of the sports going forward. So that's a nice little tie-in as Pascal Leggett comes back in, as we are 20 seconds away, Tom, from qualifying starting. The first group's coming up, though. 2 groups, then the third, then we get the 5 shootout as well. What are you looking for in qualifying today?
Well, I'm looking to see how Pascal Leggett handles being in Group 1 as well as Norbert Precker. I believe Norbert Precker was in Group 1 the first time round as well at Santiago. So I think it's going to be interesting to see if they'll really be championship contenders heading into the last 3 rounds of this championship, to see if they can handle the less rubbered up track of Group 1. And on the notes of that Mercedes in Formula E thing and not turning up to the gala, I think it's a little bit pathetic, especially given certain videos that have emerged of Toto Wolff over the last couple of days in Abu Dhabi. I mean, they don't look too disappointed over
I think quite the opposite. Quite the opposite. I agree with you there, Tom. They should really go. I think it's just to keep the FIA's wind up, isn't it, that they've done this as well, not going to the gala. And there's Joshua Hamilton going out there. I think it'll all blow over. They've got until tomorrow. They've only got 18 hours left on their 96 for intent to protest the results as well. So by tomorrow, before the FIA gala, we'll know whether or not Mercedes are going to take this to the court of arbitration or not. But hopefully we can deliver some actual clean racing with nothing dramatic happening this evening, as Joshua Hamilton is in this group and he's heading out of the peloton to start his lap time. It's Aidan Coleman, Norbert Precker, Michael Koch, Pascal Leggett, Joshua Hamilton and Owen as well, Kilvotsky going out there on the circuit. I've taken your approach there, Tom, for Kilvotsky, as Hamilton gets a big swing there coming down to turn 3.
Yep, and look at this. We've got the telemetry data this week, and you can see absolutely flat through the right-hander, then braking as really feathering the brake pedal as he heads through the next little hairpin. Then we're on to the Formula 1 circuit. Down, he's at about 200 kilometers per hour, braking down into the famous old stadium section, and then just ease the car in, a little bit of oversteer. He controls it quite nicely, does Hamilton. And, well, he's just feathering the throttle, keeping the car as positive on the front end as he physically can. They've got quite a tendency to understeer through some of the slower corners, these Formula E cars. And then you can see just absolutely clean as a whistle as he heads through Sector 3 and down into the traditional Peraltada. And a little bit of oversteer through there. Not the cleanest lap from Joshua Hamilton, but I think he'll be pretty pleased with that as he takes pole position provisionally.
108.629. Pascal Leggett does a 109.242. Interesting enough that Aidan Coleman, I think, was going backwards through the stadium sector. He's got going again. Norbert Precker jumps to second on a 109.191 as well. And here is Coleman. Look, his last lap time 108. He was off in that third sector because he hasn't actually set a representative lap time. So I think it must have gone round. The number 1 on our timing monitors here on the driver tracker we've got up in the comms box has got fire behind him. So that's indicating he's on an absolute hot lap, and that is Joshua Hamilton. First sector, a 24.471. Pascal Leggett, though, has gone even faster, 24.432. Change that to Aidan Coleman, 24.298. It's changing dramatically at the moment, but we'll stay with Pascal as he comes round the Pelotada towards the line, Tom.
Is Pascal really on it in Sector 1? He's fallen off a little bit in Sector 2. Is he going to be able to do anything about this lap time? No, he's had a spin, I believe.
Yeah.
Judging by that yellow sector there. And
118.1. Yeah.
And I think about 10 seconds off the pace isn't going to set any fireworks off on the timing towers.
Coleman's round the last corner as he's approaching the line now. I'm watching the timing monitors. Here he is, P6. Jumps to... Is it staying P6, really?
He stays P6. 1.1 seconds off of the pace for Aidan Coleman.
Joshua Hamilton set the fastest first sector time. There's a yellow out in that first sector, and I think it was Kovodski who stopped, but I think he's returned to the pit lane. He has. So that's not great there. But Hamilton's first sector time was a 24.167. So let's see what Sector 2 can bring. Just coming up to the time zone now. It's a 23.424. You can see on your screens as well. We're keeping an eye on the timing monitors, not knowing that you can see that at home on the new telemetry data. Coming out of the peloton, look at that. Purple Sector 1, up by a half a second. The same as Sector 2, slides it across the line. Surely this will be another top time. It is another top time, a 1:08.585. He moves now 0.4 of a second quicker than Kovodski at the moment. And he's still going out there, but we're getting ready to them all come in and Group 2 to go out, which is happening in a second at the moment as well. Brandon Paradise in the YouTube chat says excited, hopefully going to be an eventful race. And Staff X says let's go as well. Absolutely, as Pascal Leggett just going to complete this lap time, it looks like, in that first couple of sectors as well. Just tailing down now, isn't it, Tom, before we get to Group 2?
Yes, I think it's going to be interesting to see if Pascal Leggett can improve on that lap time. As for someone who's bidding for the championship, down in 4th position, perhaps not where he wants to be. Perhaps that's just Group 1 not gripping up the track particularly too greatly, and perhaps we'll see the lap times rocket down. We'll really have to see, and that's the issue with Group 1. You don't know whether lap times are representative or not of what the drivers are going to be doing as we head through the sessions. Theoretically, the people with the advantage on the later groups should be slower anyway on natural pace, but we just have to see. It's really a guessing game here as Pascal's going to cross the line. I don't think it's going to be particularly impressive. It's going to be a 1:09.2, so Pascal Leggett really off the pace at the minute.
Look at Hamilton. Hamilton's taking that there in the E-Media Racing. Oh, and there's some glitching in the pit lane. Joshua Hamilton then takes the bar even further, does a 1:08.298 and takes the advantage now to 0.7 of a second. He's out-qualified the entire top 6 by 1.2 seconds, which is absolutely fantastic as we get ready. This is then the end of the first part of qualifying. Before we go into the second half, and I think, Tom, if the results are going to come up, I'm not too sure.
They're meant to come up. It was going to be a lovely little graphic, this was, that I was about to put up, and it hasn't decided to work for us. So I suppose we'll take a slight digression from that and pretend that never happens. I do apologise to the viewers at home. The issue with R-Factor 2 is sometimes you press various buttons and it doesn't quite work out for you. 4 seconds, I'd imagine, till we get this going here with the Group 2. And I was exactly correct for once. And we get led away. And here you can see we're following Alex Chong, who's currently in 7th position on alphabetical order. And, well, I think it's going to be crucial to attack as early as possible. You really do not want to have to leave your lap to on cold, dirty tyres that have done a couple of laps and it's just not quite able to get the grip up. You want to be right on it first lap. Perhaps take a warm-up lap like they do in real life. Take 2 out laps, essentially, is what they do, and they slowly increase the battery as they go. At least they used to do that as of a couple of years ago. I believe they still do. I think you would probably know that one, Josh.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, they still do the 2 out laps as well. Of course, not anymore, I presume, because they've changed the qualifying format for Season 8 to a format that I have absolutely no idea how it's going to work because no one's confirmed to me. All I know is it's a Battle Royale type of format, and I don't know if it's going to be sprint races or the normal qualifying we see because they've described it in the rules as a head-to-head, which would imply to me it's a race. So we're going to arrive in Diriyah with their arms folded, thinking, what mess are we going to be in for here? There was nothing wrong with the old format. I think they should have adapted a Formula One style, half hour of 15-minute qualifyings, 18-minute qualifyings, that sort of thing. Kick out the drivers and then end up with what they used to have, which was a shootout. It worked out perfect in my mind, but the powers of be have decided to change it completely. So join us in doing it. We're not going to have a clue what's going to happen in Formula E for qualifying. Racing should still be good, though. The last year of the Gen 2 cars before Gen 3 take over for Season 9. I can't believe we're 8 years into Formula E. It doesn't seem 5 minutes since Beijing in 2014. As Alex Chung in the 22, just flying it around there as well. Got 19 cars appearing on my timing screen now. Don't know if you're having the same there, Tom.
Yes, I can see 19 cars indeed, and we've got actually in the game Edward Hunter's boss, and that is Jack Giard. I can't pronounce that name. Giard Minor, I believe. And I'll take a wild stab at the goose with that one. And well, currently the lap time's flying in, and they're not particularly impressive. Alex Chong, the first one to set a representative time, and even he is not. Oh, there, he's into the wall.
Wheel
and
off.
He's really run it too wide there, got onto the marbles a little bit, and straight with a ticket to the barrier for Alex Chong. And now we're going to have a look at the other drivers, who I would hazard a guess are going for 2 outlaps, but they're not, actually.
Where's Conan's out there? Don't know, he's improving. Same goes for Stephen, but he's 9 seconds off the pace at the moment. But Conan, I think, the one to watch for a Porsche lap time. There's the attack mode there, just on the inside of the stadium sector. As they swing back around. Last corner, the Peraltada. A little bit of a shaky wheel there. Pascal says, I'm lifting off a bit there. He said as well as he came back through that first part of the track in the corner. Across the line for Conan. Doesn't improve. Improves on time. Does not improve on position. Stays P8 for Weed Wacker Racing. I was looking actually, and I haven't actually seen it yet because I don't know if it was a Formula E team me and Ed were setting up or I think we talked about it but never actually did it. A Formula E team because I think the entries got full. But me and Ed are doing the Hunter Birch simulation for the touring cars on the support bill next year for the World Endurance Championships we do here on the EERC. So that's going to be a lot of fun for that challenge. But I was looking last week thinking, where's our team? But I remember now that it's all full up. As Conan in that first sector was a couple of tenths down. At the moment, Alex Chong actually was, I think, the biggest surprise of the session. He's closing down to Aidan Coleman, only 0.092 between them. That's obviously less than a tenth of a second. So easily time can be found there to get into the top 6, maybe the top 5 for the shootout. That's what Conan's trying to do. Long sweeping last corner, all 4 wheels off the line, and improves again. Time, not position. Stays P8, 110.082.
And this Group 2 really have been a lot slower than Group 1. You would have expected them to be a little bit closer here, as I thought when there's such a short track with so few corners that perhaps the pace would be a little bit closer across the field. Where was it that we saw the field separated by something absurd, like a second from 1st to 24th? I think it might have been Berlin in round 1.
I think it was Berlin, yeah. When you were on comms with Ed, yeah. I think it was Berlin when I look back at it. As they keep coming through, it definitely wasn't Santiago. Santiago was a very close race all throughout, and a lot of energy management as well. Are we going to see the same here today with energy as a problem as Alex Chong tries to mount one of the other cars in the pit lane? Young children look away. That's not how Formula E cars are made. But
is that how Formula 3 cars are made?
Possibly how Formula 3 cars.
Formula Renault.
Maybe the Jaguar I-Pace. I'm not too sure about that one as they come through. Back to the energy. Are you reckoning as well that we're going to see a lot of energy recovery going on here today? Because it's quite a fast track. There's only really 2 or 3 braking opportunities on the circuit to regen energy.
Well, of course, there's also a lot of corners where you can lift off. For example, that old Peraltada. You can lift off through there quite a bit without losing a great deal of energy. And I suppose time, sorry, and you're supposed to gain energy by lifting off, I suppose.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of hairpins here and medium speed to slow corners, and of course you've got the stadium section where you can really gain a lot of energy back. So I'm not too sure it's going to be too difficult, as I believe that's the end of Group 2 as we wait for Group 3.
No real big change, though, in terms of the timings, as you can see. I think they've all actually stayed in the top 5 for the cut-off, haven't they, Tom? No one's broken through.
They have, so there is going to be a second opportunity now for some of the drivers who didn't do particularly well in Group 1. For example, Pascal Leggett, who felt a little bit disappointed with his time. That was 9/10 off the pace. This is Rosinski, and I'm a little bit confused here. I didn't think that the Group 3 cars had come out yet, as he makes an absolute meal of the Peltarda.
I'm seeing 13, 16, 14.
They are out.
Yeah,
now, yes.
they are out. They are out. Yeah. Yeah, they're all 13 down to 17 are out on the track, and Giorama is still in there, and La Hoven still in the pit lane. So Jack and Joe are still in the pit lane, according to the timing screens we've got up here in the box, because we can see the numbers as well. With our timing monitors. Isn't it nice having timing monitors on esports as well? You don't get that with Formula One games either. And that's one thing I do love about the EERC. You get exactly the same information you would have on TV pictures. It's quite helpful to us, isn't it, Tom, up here in the comms box?
It's very helpful. Apart from the fact I don't have one. I have the overlay page to control the cameras. But...
maybe not the right person to comment
yes.
then.
Well, I did last week, actually. I had
you did,
5 races
yeah.
up, and my only little gripe with it is that they are about 20 seconds behind. So
yeah. They seem to be all right so far today. They're only a couple of seconds back, because Rosinski goes P8, 1:10.042. Since the sun's sort of been setting in the background, they haven't been setting that quick of a lap times, as there's somebody else off down there, the 18. And that's Giamana, sorry, is Alf in the background. You were saying before we went air, Tom, black glasses. I think I need mine.
Yes, and, Jack Giamana is, of course, a Formula E podcaster and or journalist. I'm not really sure. I just know he works with Ed somehow.
I think it's on the Formula E zone, isn't it?
Yes, apparently. Yeah. It's a podcast, I believe. And, clearly supposed to be his forte, and unable to set a lap thus far. Plenty of time to go, though. I think they've got about 3 minutes in this particular session, as Rosinski is in 8th. So that's crucial. So the Group 3 times have been improving, just not improving to Group 1 standards. And I wonder whether that is the pace of the drivers, of course, further down in the championship order, or whether that's got something to do with the fact that the track is just a little bit cooler. And over the last sort of 15 minutes or so, I'm not really sure.
It's turning more into a night race at the moment. The sun's setting in the background. It's very unusual for that. Oh, and that's a big one and straight into the wall. And surprisingly, I think he's hit that just the right angle. No damage. I think he must have gone through the barrier. No, that one did it. That second crash did it. He's got damage now. Bent the steering column. I'll have to box for that one. But I don't think he's got time there, does he, Tom, to get back out there, do another outlap and come in? He's only got 2 minutes left on the clock.
No, so great disappointment for Jack Giamana, who has only raced once and scored 0 points this season. He was absent for Santiago and he's gone back, and it's just not quite working for him. You can see crabbing, so trying to set a lap time purely for fries. I don't think it's going to set any timing boards alight, however. And it does look like we're pretty stable here with who we've got at our Super Bowl session. That is Hamilton, Owen, A.K., Frecker, and Eggert, and of course, Kosh.
Yep, top 5, and they'll all go out for, as Tom said, a shootout, so single lap times, and the best driver will start on pole position, and because they're in the top 5, all their lap times will get deleted. So they'll have to set a better lap time, but the timing tower doesn't reflect that all that well. So we will be telling you the order via our timing screens, or rather I will, because I know you haven't got it up there, Tom, what the grid order is going to be.
I have actually, funnily enough, I have the last lap time, so I do have all of the timing information. Just
Fantastic.
Not in the same lovely little package as you do. And
it's all on one screen. I've got the stream, the timings, the driver tracker, and the YouTube chat all on one screen.
Well, I have roughly the same, just without the driver tracker, which is a little bit frustrating. However, I do have a lot of information, in fairness, and I can do cool things with the stream, as Mark Vardy is going to set his best lap time. I think he's improving, and it's not going to be a particularly great jump up to 14th position. So we've really, really seen a difference in pace, and we now wait for the Super Polers to exit the pits. You can see it is going to be Koch who starts the Super Bowl session. So it is, of course, one by one they get released. And, well, we'll get rid of the tower for you because, frankly, it's not important at this stage.
According to my driver tracker, the number 13 is down there. That's Lovis Sazbols, who hasn't actually come into the pit lane yet. So he should be escaping because Koch is just coming around into the hairpin now, as you can see. So he's a little bit in the danger zone, but keep an eye out on if that car's going to cause a problem. He might just get away with this one. Yeah. So 40 minutes to go. That's how long it could we have left to complete this session. But only 5 cars will do an out lap, a flying lap, and then an in lap. And then we will go in reverse order. So it'll be Michael Koch, Pascal Leggett, Norman Precker, Owen AK, and Joshua Hamilton will be the last driver out on the track. I think Hamilton's has his 2nd session in a row. He's made it through to Super Bowl. Same as Owen AK, Precker and Eggert. That's 2nd race in a row. They've made it through to Super Bowl. The other, of course, Zoltan Toth got through last weekend, but he's no longer racing the championship. Anyway, start, first corner, downhill, gets on the braking zone okay. Now round the long sweeping part, which is the oval, into the heavy braking zone for turn 3, locks it full opposite as they till down towards the first sector time. Now, is this going to be quicker than the 24-1 we saw before? Coming across the line. Not telling us exactly yet what it is, which is really annoying. 24.577. So it's a few tenths down on what Joshua Hamilton did, but he's actually fast in his own best time. To you, Tom.
And yes, so it's not going to be the fastest time of the session. Well, it is going to be the fastest time of the Super Bowl session. Well, not the fastest time of the qualifying session as a whole, but he's keeping it hooked up quite nicely through Sector 2, 23.6. So again, he's about 2 tenths off. He's 4 tenths off now overall. We're just going to have to see through the Paraltarda if he's going to be able to set a proper representative lap time that can challenge for pole position here. Full sideways drift through the Paraltarda, and he's going to cross the line. It's going to be a 108.7 for Michael Koch. So he goes into first position, of course, provisionally, and sets the time to be 108.7 in the number 13.
The 108.707, that is the time to beat. As Tom says, Pascal Leggett, the 2nd car out, then is his time to shine. Interesting enough, though, the driver tracker will know who's ahead because Pascal Leggett dropped down into 5th place as well. So nice and easy one. Nice and tight, though, through turn number 3 as well as he heads back towards the hairpin as well at 4 and 5. Hugs the inside line nicely, trying to get the double apex. When do you hit the power, of course, with it being an electrical battery pack? It is really going to punch the back of the car out of those corners a lot faster than an internal combustion engine would as well. Down in towards the Forest Stadium then. Late on the brakes as well. Now sweep it back around in front of the thousands of fans getting. I think it's about 10,000 they can pack in to that incredible grandstand. Onto the exit then. 2nd sector time looking good. Into the last sector and around the Paraltarda, Tom.
And yes, Pascal Leggett, really poor first sector, but he's managed to claw it back a little bit in the 2nd sector. 23.4 was probably the fastest of the time. And again, slides all the way around the Paraltarda. And he is going to take pole away from Michael Koch at this stage. 108.6 for Pascal Leggett.
Unbelievable. That is unbelievable. They've both done a 108. but the time changes. It's a 1:08 point. I can't see it on the timing screen. It's gone.
6:57.
6:57. Thank you. As they come through, so he's exactly half a tenth faster on that board as Norbert Precker, the championship leader, is out there on the circuit now. He's championship leader by just 1.28 in total. 10 in Berlin, 18 in Santiago. He's looking for victory here in Mexico. Into the hairpin then, and to complete the first sector, and he's already 0.2 of a second faster at 24.099. He is faster than Joshua Hamilton in the combined times. Brecker's going for it. For certainly it should be pole. Into the far sole. Breaks it down already. Gets in a good apex. Now loop it back round. Keep on the power. Don't let the car slide out. It's been like a shopping cart as well. It's got a funny wheel at the front. It always drifts out wide into the pale Tada. Tom.
And of course, he's yellow in the second sector, so it might not be the lap from the gods that Norbert Brecker was expecting as he crossed that sector on timing line. Now through the Peltada, a massive slide. He's managed to catch it quite nicely. He uses all of the curb, and it is going to be fast. It's going to be 1:08.601, but I think Joshua Hamilton might have something to say about that one.
Unbelievable. They just keep going down. They've all done 1:08, 6:01, 6:57, 7:07. It's one of the closest Super Poles I can remember. Here's Owen AK then to start his lap time. Turn 1 coming up. The fast sweeping part of the old banking circuit we had here when NASCAR used to race here on the ovals as well. Sweeping it through, keeps it tight at the exit as well. Down now, heavy on the brakes, in towards turn 3. Keeps it okay. Got to find the right sort of time as he approaches that first sector. Now, is it quicker? 21, 22, 23, cross in, it's a 24.575. He's down by 0.2 of a second, but combine that, he's not actually that far away from Norbert Brecker at the moment, but 10th and a bit down. So sector 2 has to pick it up. Maybe Owen AK is going to start at the back of this Super Pole, which would be P5, sector 2 time coming up, Tom.
Yellow again, and that's because he did tap the grass slightly and had to do a little bit of correcting through one of the corners on the Formula 1 layout of this circuit. Now heading through the Peltada, he's got to keep it as clean as possible. And he's not kept it as clean as possible all the way on to the curb. And it is purple in the final sector, but it's not going to be fast enough. 1:08.8 for Owen AK. As now we wait for the main event of the evening. Joshua Hamilton starts his lap.
Guaranteed, in my opinion, a front row start. Definitely, though, for Norbert Brecker, he will start on the front row, which is great for his title hopes. Now, Joshua Hamilton, who's got to find about 0.3 of a second more than what he did earlier on, and he'll take pole. Already a 1:08.298 is his best lap time, and he's flying it through turn 1 as well. Nice apex, Tom.
1:08.6 to beat from Norbert Brecker as Joshua Hamilton. Let's ride on board, actually, just because we can. Heading through one of the right-handers, keeps it clean, and then just dip the car in as we enter the Formula 1 layout. That was a little bit slidey on the rear, but I don't think he's lost too much time. There's the grass that Owen AK was victim to, and now heading into the stadium section, braking for this corner, about the 100-meter board. Pick it out, and then just lift the car in. Don't hit the traffic cone. And then just 50-meter board, ease the car in, keep it hooked up, make sure it just slides around almost without sliding really, just like that from Joshua Hamilton. Purple in the second sector. Now he heads through the Parabolica corner for one final time. 1:08.6 to beat, and I think this might just be it from Joshua Hamilton. Let's see. As he crosses the line, he's kept it clean as a whistle through there, and he heads across the line. 1:08.1, so he is going to take the 1:08.2, sorry, and he is going to take pole position. So it is going to be a Hamilton on pole position. I don't think any late safety cars can stop this Hamilton.
Absolutely not. What a lap time. Brilliant. Brilliant. Really close stuff there.
Really, really close stuff. And I think that was mightily impressive from Joshua Hamilton. And, well, we'll be going to a short warm-up session. And if you don't mind, Josh, I think we'll take a moment's break just to go and get a drink and be back for the race in about 5 minutes' time.
Absolutely. Join us after the break with Joshua Hamilton on pole position.
Attention grid, will all non-essential personnel leave the grid now?
We won't. They've gone to a race session immediately, so I guess we won't be going to get any drinks as the race is about to start. I do hope Joshua comes back, as they decided to start the race a little bit early. So, well, we'll give him a moment. And I do apologise about that. I could have sworn we had a little bit of a warm-up session going on. Let's take you through the starting order as we wait. Nonetheless, as it is going to be Joshua Hamilton on pole position from Norbert Precker, from Pascal Leggett, from Michael Koch. And the start is crucial here then. Owen A.K., Aidan Coleman, Alex Chung, and the number 63 of Rosinski, the George Russell number. I'm sure he'll be looking for better fortunes than the Brit this time round. Nick Conan in 9th position, and then number 24. Then it's Franch Mandic in the number 10, and then Gibson, and I just didn't catch who was in the other one. And then it's Lovis Sablux, Mark Vardy, Nick Homewood, Errol Perfect. And as we head on to the final couple of rows of the grid, it's Schunemann, Giordama, and Joop Lahaven. And I do apologise, Joshua, I did send him off to get a drink, but we are going to be racing momentarily. So that is my problem. That is my fault completely. And I hope he doesn't miss it. There you go, Joshua. Hello. We unfortunately weren't quite able to get a drinks break in there as they went to start the race early. But we
Here we
are
go. Lights coming on. And it's lights out in Mexico City. It's a great start from Hamilton, but it's Lahoven who's jumped ahead. Now, what's happened there? He's dropping back. Okay, Hamilton leads into turn 1. Precker goes down the order as well. But still, Pascal Leggett trying to have the advantage coming into the first couple of corners. Heavy break there from Hamilton. Precker's and Hamilton will touch the wall. Precker leads down towards turn 4. Round the outside, Pascal Leggett now trying to get ahead of Hamilton. Tries to cut back on the inside. Touches the rear tyre of Hamilton. Oh, it still could be Formula 1, you know, as they come back through. Down now towards the Forest Stadium sector as well. Precker leads, Hamilton second, Eggett goes into third, Koch is down to 4th place as well. Wonder what happened there, Tom, with the timing glitch as Lahoven's back in the pit lane. Do you think we'll have a red flag?
I don't think we'll have a red flag for that, given that we did have a clean start. But of course, remember, 2 attack modes, to my knowledge, they have to take in the next 44 minutes' time. And just like that, blink and you miss it. Already, we've had a lap completed here, and the top 3 separated by not much as ever. Joshua Hamilton, bitter disappointment, though perhaps his race trim is just not quite as good as the qualifying trim. Here we go then. Pascal Leggett is going to try and have a run at him down into turn 1, and he's just going to lift off. He needs to save that energy, thinking about the long game.
Already trying to have the advantage there back on the outside. Look at this. Hamilton's rear tyre sliding as well. And a big lock-up from Precker. Takes the inside line. Hamilton remembers where to brake, though, this time around. Tell you what, though, great timing to get back in the commentary box about 10 seconds before the race starts. Precker and pressure, but look at that. Eggett side by side with Hamilton and goes through. Oh, but Hamilton's got the inside line coming back. Forest Stadium will be the key part of this one if Hamilton can get the cut back as well. It's Precker, Eggett, Hamilton, Koch, Coleman up into P5 as well, as there's more driver further back as well. Garrett Gisman is down into 18th place as well. I think must have a bit of damage there because it looks like he was crabbing a bit, but let's get it straight away. No, just looks like it could have been a spin. Could have been a spin there, Tom.
Could have been a spin. I just saw him dropping down the order, but the crucial news is that Joshua Hamilton has had 2 laps from hell. The only way it could have gone a little bit worse for him is if he crashed. So I suppose every cloud does have a silver lining. However, he's got a lot of catch-up to do now, and perhaps it's going to be the attack modes that save him, as Norbert Precker will have to see in a couple of laps' time whether he does have the pace to really challenge Pascal Leggett here, who I'm sure will be hungry for his second win of the season, his second win on the bounce and, of course, taking the championship lead if he does win this race.
Mandic passed Chong for P8, but Chong's gone back ahead. There's a yellow in the first sector as AK's dropped right back. AK's dropped right back out of the running order at the moment. We're riding with Chong as he got through Coleman once again, but yeah, AK has gone right back in the order. He's struggling now with cars left and right. Cohen's there. Nick Homewood jumps up to P10 as well into the points. Side-by-side action, those further down towards the hairpin. It's all getting very dramatic as Cohen tries to get on the inside of Coleman. Big one there. And that was a side swipe for Chong, who's been left in the middle of the pack. And he's going to be... Oh, that's a dangerous one. No sign of a code 80, though, or what we call full course yellows. But a bit dangerous there, don't you think?
Yeah, and Rosinski has taken attack mode. So the first of the people who want to attack early into this race. We're only 5 minutes in, and he's already decided to take his attack mode. 40 minutes to go in this one, just about. And, well, it's still Precker who leads from Eggert from Hamilton.
As they come down then, we have completed, as you say, we've got 41 minutes exactly to go on the board. Trying to see how long we've completed, but we've got documents in the way. 3 laps complete. A long way to go. Newt says, hi, guys. Hello to you too. And that's a very good Pingu reference I can see on your YouTube channel name. It's a championship leader, though. Norbert Precker, who is on top at the moment. He's got 91% of energy. Eggert's already using 90. Tom, it feels like a week ago. Eggert, the driver in second. Last week it was all-time top. This week it's Pascal Leggett using more energy to try and keep up with Precker. And now they're both back to 89 as they round the Peraltada.
As I think this is just Pascal Leggett trying to get on with it as quickly as he can. Perhaps he's going to wait for Precker to take attack mode so he can get track position. But then, of course, attack mode is so much faster than the regular mode of these cars that you just can't really take the risk. I believe it's 50 kilowatts per hour, is it not? Attack mode, extra power?
Yep, 50 kilowatts extra for a total of, well, what it's usually 3 minutes is now, is it? It was
Coleman's
4,
out.
but it's 3. Oh, yeah, he's out. Oh, my goodness me. Coleman drops out, and La Hoven 2 is not restarting. So La Hoven is out of the race. I've just got a message through that his wheel broke and couldn't fix it in time. That's not good at all. And AK had a nosebleed on his fastest lap, so maybe he's still dealing with effects of that. Hopefully you're all right there, mate, in the seat. But watch now as Reunic trying to get through the outside and Koch down towards the Forest Sol. Koch has the inside line, but can't late break it. Not in a Formula E car. It's not a Max Verstappen style of manoeuvre as they come round the Forest Sol's part of the track as well. Homewood's down to 9th place at the moment. So he's dropping this way, and that's 87% for Precker, 86% for Eggert as well. But it's already settling down. It's Christoph, who's on board now with P4. He's got the fastest lap of the race so far, 1:10.842. He'll have the bonus point at the moment for the fastest lap as they come down to start their 6th lap, I believe now.
I believe it would be lap 6, actually. I can't quite see that on my timing screen. I
can't either.
And yes, it would be lap 6, actually, as Lahoven is 5 laps down at the back. So he's given us quite a nice measure, actually, of this lap time. Here you go. I've put up the interval. It should auto cycle every sort of 15 seconds or so. We'll make that. And you'll be able to see both the energy remaining and the interval. And,
fantastic.
Well, I think Pascal Leggett really just needs to get a move on here, even if it means using up more of that energy. I think he does just need to bite the bullet and use it.
I think as well as Norbert Precker, fastest in that first sector of anyone at 25.326. The gap now 1.2 seconds. It's starting to give and take a little bit as they round the Peraltada once again. Pascal's now losing out time, and he's got to find it back. So it's the Formula E 2021 Hungarian team with Norbert Precker on top, and the fine Fond Motorsport squad with Pascal Leggett running in P2 into turn 1, and we've got attack mode running out for AK then. So he took his attack mode 3 minutes ago, and he's got another 15 seconds of using it as there's a yellow out sector 2. Can't see anything on the board though, no cars are tiring. Think it's actually Garrett Gisborne who might have had a little bit of a go around because he's dropped 4 seconds in that Sector 2 time.
And yes, not ideal at all, though I feel like these back markers are just a little bit, as I saw actually, the indicator on Larhoven said pit instead of DNF, so I thought maybe he'd got back going for a second there, but not to be, unfortunately, for Larhoven. And 1.8 seconds, the gap at the front, and I think it's just if Pascal Leggett who takes attack mode, I think, does he not?
Yeah.
He does. So first attack mode for Pascal Leggett, and now he's going to have to push like hell to get that 1.5 second advantage that Precker holds back down and overtake him. Let's ride on board for a little bit through the Peraltada.
The ideal,
see if he's able to achieve his goal, I suppose.
The ideal situation would be for Precker to take his first attack mode this lap. You've got, as we keep saying, 3 of them to use. That has been adjusted after a week ago in Santiago. Drivers who went for their third, it never activated. But this week it will activate for a third time. So 3 attack modes, a total of 3 minutes each. Just 9 minutes across this 45-minute race that they can use it for. There's no +1 either, unless they cross the line with a second to go. And Precker touched the grass. He's dropped a couple of tenths there as Pascal again starts to close him in. Ideally, though, Tom, the long run out of the Peltada down the start-finish straight and through turn 1 is the ideal opportunity to try and catch up.
I'd say for sure. Here's the battle for first then. 1.4 seconds.
Oh, and Hamilton's jumped to
Precker would take a bit of a more comfortable championship lead if he was able to hold on to this victory. It currently stands at 1 point to Michael Koch. And of course, Pascal Leggett would also take second in the championship. So we really would see these two start to emerge as championship protagonists heading into the last 2 races of the season, which of course are coming up on the 5th and 19th of January in Zurich and Marrakesh.
He gained another 0.2 of a second on that lap, but in the braking zone, it just keeps giving and taking as well. Got now 0.6 of a second, as you can see on your screens, and this looks a lot closer than that as they come into the braking zone for the hairpin at turn 4 and 5. Running back up now towards the Forest Stadium, Pascal Leggett. You can't miss him in the orange Formula E liveried car as well. He's chasing down Norbert Precker in the dragon-inspired white livery as they swing back through. There's the back markers we keep talking about. They're catching up on Mark Vardy and Stephen as well in that back half of the track. Oh, and throw into that as well, Errol Prefect as well as they come through. But look how close he is, Tom. He's 0.3 off. He's going to surely make a move soon. Oh, and he's nearly lost it. Whoa! And he's running out of attack mode. So is it do or die now, Tom?
Definitely do or die, and that 3 minutes has flashed by. Pascal Leggett hasn't quite had what he wanted. He's got to make this move into turn 1. He's not going to. He's lifting off. Pascal Leggett has all but wasted his first attack mode with a slight half spin through the Peraltada. And that is bitter disappointment indeed. The crucial thing, however, is that he has got into the attack mode window of Norbert Precker, which means Norbert Precker is going to have to do his overtaking on the track.
Fastest lap or best improvement goes to Mandic and to Homewood. They've improved their lap times. Mandic did a 1:12.492. Homewood a 1:12.924. They had 2.2 seconds, 1.9 separating them. In fact, it's changing dramatically. Homewood is rapid through that last sector. He's closed right back up to Mandic as well as they come down into the hairpin. You can see on the timing screen, actually, how quick. Although I'd say Homewood's got to defend a bit from Cohen as well as they pop back down. Here it is, look, actually. There is Homewood back in the car this week after being on holiday a week ago. And wasn't in the car, but back from Mexico and the last 2 races, as you said, in Marrakesh, and I can't remember where the season finale is, Zurich and then Marrakesh. There you see. Oh, an attack mode for Cohen. Cohen takes his first attack mode. As I think Zurich has taken his second of the race so far. I haven't seen him take his first yet. So, I did see him take his first. He was one of the first to do so.
Yes, and now Cohen is going to have to really push and just overtake Homewood. Doesn't want to do what happened to Pascal Leggett, which is just waste that attack mode completely. Pascal Leggett is really dropping down. Actually, 4 seconds the gap now to Joshua Hamilton, so perhaps he's really got to energy save. And, well, I do wonder what could be happening there. Here is Joshua Hamilton, who's suddenly reeling in homeward.
14's
Pascal Leggett
off.
a little bit. And oh,
That's
dirty,
a
oh
Skolman.
dear, very slidey. Who was
Skolman's in the
offside?
wall. Skolman's in the wall, and it's down at. It's actually coming out of the Peltada. There he is. Wheel off too. Someone's lost a wheel. So as Skolman tries to return, I don't know if it's his or not, but he's causing a lot of problems. There goes Pascal Leggett. There goes Joshua Hamilton as well. Has he got all his wheels? Yes, he does. So wonder where that wheel has come from. Nobody's dived into the pit lane as far as I can see. Coleman and Lahoven were already out of the race. Lahoven didn't take the start, so it could be Coleman's, but I wonder where the wheel came from.
I did just see someone going rather slowly, and I wonder if it was something to do with them. I didn't see who it was, though, as we'll go back to the lead battle. Pascal Leggett got back a second.
Skolman's in the pit lane. Petter Skolman's into the pit lane anyway, so he's going to have some repair done. Maybe he's had a rear tyre off that we haven't seen. Not too sure, but anyway, he's in there. As Vardy will lap him as well, so that's a big one there. For Petter Skolman to go down the order. Chong's going to run out of his attack mode in 20 seconds' time. And as you say, Hamilton is 1.4 seconds behind Pascal Leggett now. But they've got all this lapped traffic to deal with as well, with Errol Prefet and Mark Vardy. And it's just a nightmare through that stadium sector to get it right in terms of not compromising yourselves.
And Hamilton has still got to take 3 attack modes in their entirety. Eggert only has to take another 2. And of course, that extra 50 kilowatts worth of power is a lot in these cars. It gains you so much time. It's like driving a different race car, actually, in terms of the lap times. Fastest lap of the race so far is a 1:10.8, and that was set by Rosinski. So perhaps he'll feel like he could have won the race with his pace today. Not to be so far, as Mandic has DNF'd from the race in the last few moments. Bitter disappointment for him as well.
I saw a car stop to the second sector, and I was just looking to see who it was, and then the name begins to tumble down the order. So Mandic out of the race. I think he's just had a spin. Maybe he hit the wall at the exit of the stadium sector, because that's where it was just before they crossed over to the third sector. So might have touched the wall. This part of the track, actually, where we're watching Precker. Now we're on board with Pascal Leggett, who will, I think, if my math is correct, be second in the title at the end of this race. But Precker will definitely retain his championship lead and extend it by 5 points, which would be quite cool, because Pascal Leggett is on 25, so 3-point difference. 6-7, so there'll be a 7 or 8 point gap difference in the title between Norman Precker and Pascal Leggett. But they could actually be level, if my mind is working correctly, at the end of this race, somehow. Let me get back to you on that.
Is it not 25 points for a win? So
25 for a win. And
it is 25 for a win. So it would be, if he's got a 1 point gap already, and Pascal Leggett finishes...
3 point gap. 3 point gap, isn't it?
3 point gap already to Eggert, so it'd be a further 8 points he gains. So it wouldn't be more like 11 point gap or something.
Yeah, your math is... I've done too much math with Pascal Leggett. Your math's probably bang on. I'm probably not.
Oh dear, as I was doing that math, we completely missed that car that was sideways that Pascal Leggett narrowly avoided. That was probably the worst moment of commentary I've done for a very long time. I do apologise.
It was Garrett Gisborne, I think, sideways, looking at my monitor. Oh, actually, it could have been Stephen, because he's the next car along the way down on the board. So apologies for that one, but it was a blink and you'll miss it moment. I'm sure many of you at home might have missed that one as well, as we were trying to work out championship protagonists for the last 2 races in Zurich and Marrakesh. But look at this. There's another car still at the exit there of the pit lane. That is indeed Jack Giamana, as Hamilton fastest. So the fastest new lap time, 1:11.178. So he's the fastest driver on the track right now. Look at the inside, into the braking zone. They nearly chop off each other. My goodness me. Hamilton is delivering it all at the moment. 2 tenths between them as they head down. He's going to try and go around the outside. And on the attack mode, he's done it. He's locking the rears. He's drifting it. It's Formula Drift as they come to on the inside. And Hamilton takes second. But Eggett's back in it as well. Precker's taken attack mode. Hamilton, as you said, Tom, was already on the attack mode. So Eggert was really just a sitting duck there.
As Eggert will start to feel like heading into the last 2 rounds of the season, he really needs to finish second here to get that gap down to 11 points. If he can finish where he is right now, he's basically requiring himself to win 2 races on the trot, which is no mean feat, as he's proving right now. That attack mode, though, for Joshua Hamilton really working, and now he's unleashed to attack that 2.8 second interval to Precker ahead.
Game on in Mexico once again. Norman Precker takes the fastest lap of the race. A 1:10.654. He's just completely outshone everybody. He's 0.2 of a second faster than Krzysztof Ruhinski, who's P4 for our F4 squad as well in the 63 car. He's 0.2 faster, and he previously had that fastest lap. So Prekker's opened it up with that attack mode. He's got another minute left on that. Hamilton's run out, but he's got a 1.3 second advantage now to Pascal Leggett. Eggert's got to go for attack mode again. He's got another 2 left on this field with 26 minutes to go. That's still another 6 minutes.
Here is Owen A.K., who's trying to make a move on Nick Homewood in his sights, and he hits the wall, and perhaps that's just that move slightly quelled for a moment, and he's going
It's
to
brought like yellow.
take a few more laps. So one out of the ball's out to yellow, and that's a very long
Giovanna.
yellow. It's cleared. No, it might have been Giovanna actually at the back there. He's really having a rough run of it. You have to feel like he's here purely for the fun of it, not particularly challenging. Then again, he is. Oh, I suppose that is a lapping car, so maybe not challenging for a position there. Oh no, he's got a lot of damage actually.
Yeah.
Giovanna. He will be coming into the pits at the end of this lap, I would imagine. I'd be very shocked if he didn't.
He's kept going. Are you shocked?
Okay. Well, I am shocked. And,
My God.
well, I do have to respect the effort on that one, as crucially, look at here, Prekker's got a lot of energy. Oh, that's a very nasty incident indeed, as I've just cut away from that. And let's have a look.
Oh, he's done now, isn't he? He's stopping on the
Surely
track.
out of the race. I think his motor might have burnt out from that one. And
No.
Jack Giovanna feeling very sore after that one indeed. And this is when you'd love a good safety car right now, wouldn't we?
Yeah,
But,
not going to get that's annoying. Not going to get it. That's annoying. They've DNF'd back to the pit lane. Of course, it'd be different if it was an endurance race because they're desperately trying to get that car back to the pit lane and would have a code 80. But short races here, 45 minutes. It doesn't take that long, and they can easily just DNF from the race. It's too much damage to be repaired in the next 25 minutes of this race. As Prefect down into 13th place, and that's Giovanna dropping down the order. Okay, so that's him out of the race. So 4 retirements of this race. But Norbert Precker still with the advantage, still leading the championship. 10 points in Berlin. Second place and 18 points in Santiago. I said in qualifying, he's looking to follow it up with a win here in Mexico. And touch wood. If I try and find a bit... Oh, I'm sitting on a wooden chair. So touch wood. He is going to have that and take an extended championship lead, as we've already discussed, to 11 points to what will be Pascal Leggett taking second place in the title. If our math is correct, but I'm sure the stewards will deliver that before we next go racing in January in Zurich, because now we're going to go on a Christmas holiday, which is going to be very, very fun. I'm looking forward to that. But with this is effectively the last race of the year, isn't it, for the EERC? Tom?
Yes, it would be actually, because Spain isn't for a long time now. Lapping Nick Homewood is Precker, and I'm surprised Homewood hasn't held him up a little bit there to help out his FRA teammate, but perhaps that'd be a little bit too cheeky, especially when his teammate is the owner of, or the organiser at least, of this Formula E League. And well, make sure you do join us on the 9th of January 2022, and I can't quite believe we're saying 2022 at this stage.
I'm still expecting it to be 2019 for me still.
2012 was 10 years ago now.
My
I think
goodness.
that's quite scary.
That is actually terrifying. That is beyond terrifying. I still think as well. We've done. It boggles my mind. We've done an entire. We've gone through 3 different console generations of gaming since then. We've gone Xbox 360, PS3, the entire PS4, Xbox One, and now what? Xbox Series and PS5 in the space of 10 years. It's mind-boggling as well.
And of course, the scary thing at 2012 was it was just before R Factor 2 released. So there you go. That's one thing that hasn't changed since then, as Agate gets past Hamilton with the attack mode. However, I think it's going to be slightly temporary, as Hamilton now, of course, needs to use his, and then we'll have a good deal of attacking to do on Eggert. Not permanent just yet, and 4.8 seconds is the gap to the leader. And that is so impressive indeed from Precker to eke out that kind of advantage in Formula E.
He's done the best improvement this season by far, and especially in the last couple of races. Thought Berlin was quite good. Surprised he took the championship lead in Santiago, and we all said that's an unlikely title leader. But then we all sort of sat down and said, actually, going to be quite popular. And now, for Hungarian rookie sim racing team, the 93 car, they're going to extend the championship lead and hold a very good firm grip on it in probably Zurich and Marrakesh. Marrakesh, though, is going to be all-out war, really, isn't it? It's going to be fantastic to see, as everyone's going to go in. Who's going to go in as the championship advantage, though? I'm just trying to work out as well. It's unlikely he'll wrap up the title in Zurich, isn't it? Very unlikely.
Very unlikely, unless he, of course, in fact, unless he had a DNF from Pascal Leggett or something, I imagine it'd be rather difficult. But never say never, especially in Formula E, as it is going to be Hamilton still doesn't take his attack mode. But you had a flank in Sector 1, not too sure what they're for. But Kosh and AK are both in their attack mode, Schunemann and Stefan as well, back down the order. And
attack mode 3? Homewood, sorry.
Oh no! What happened to Pascal? He just stopped for... I can't really figure out how, but he just stopped for a second.
That is beyond bizarre as to why he came to a full stop at the exit on one of the fastest parts of the track, right in the back of Hamilton, and then comes Homewood to try and lap himself to Hamilton. He hasn't done it, though. But a car fault, or did he brake test him?
Green freeze, I think, actually.
Right.
Come to think of it, as the advice when you do get to screen freeze, you just jam on the brakes. So I think that's what happened there.
Oh, that's very scary. Okay, so we'll go with screen freeze. Hamilton is now 7/10 behind him as well. Must have thought all his Christmases had come at once, or thought that he was trying to be the devil wearing Prada as they come out the last couple of corners. Now the gap rephrased itself to 1.2 seconds. Big slide again. There's a nasty bump there at the exit of the Pelotada, and it's causing every car we go on board with to sort of lose the rear. So that's a very nasty bump to avoid. I've noted that down if I ever run this track. Have you?
Yes, well, I'll be noting it down now. That's for certain. And I haven't experienced that bump, actually, on all games I've driven the Mexico circuit. I say all games like it doesn't include R Factor and F1. But I've never noticed a particular bump. I know there's a big bump at Suzuka that's quite annoying, just out of the final corner.
Oh, yes.
I've had that catch me out a few times. But there's a few famous old bumps on racetracks. And, well, I hope... Hamilton will be hoping that he can bump himself on the order, and not like that, though. And that's rather well saved, actually. A bit of a heart in the mouth moment. And, well, Hamilton's dealt with it quite coolly. And he still had to take 2 attack modes in this race. Make sure you note that.
That was oversteer beyond oversteer. That is a magnificent save from Hamilton there. And it certainly made me flinch up in the comms box. And he's lost another couple of tenths. There's that bump just as we went off board. So Hamilton now is 1 second behind Pascal Leggett as well. 1.2, 1.4 keeps fluctuating as Gibson trying to pass on the inside into the last couple of corners. So he can't get through on Sazbols now, can he? As he comes back down towards that first corner. 4 tenths between them as things stand.
And it is a massive, massive 4 tenths. Oh, what's happening there? Is he letting a lapped car through? He is.
Yeah,
He's letting... Who is that? I can't quite see. I think it might be Homewood. And, well...
Yes. Or Michael Koch.
It could be as well, actually. And now that is a big opportunity for Gibson. He's going to try and have a little bit of an optimistic, speculative look down the inside. And I don't think he even committed to that himself, really. I think it would have been very impressive indeed. Perhaps a little bit stupid to go for that move. As you can see, the cars give each other a little bit of a wave as they head down past each other into the stadium section, and it's still behind line of stern for Garrett Gibson.
Only Max Verstappen would have committed to that manoeuvre as they come back through. And he's taking attack mode now, is Gibson. So Gibson takes attack mode, number 3. He's last of the race. I hope everybody else remembers they've got 3 attack modes to use in this race and not the 2. Because Gibson's now right on the inside. In fact, look how easy. Oh, and Precker and Eggert, they're changing positions. They're changing. Eggert and Precker. So Eggert and Hamilton. Look, there we go. Hamilton briefly got ahead of Eggert, and it changed with Precker as well, but I think that was a glitch because they're still 5 seconds up the road. But Hamilton moved to second, and I think got back ahead. Eggert now still P2, and it's all going on here as well. Who's that right behind? Just have a look at the driver tracker. Oh, is it? Yes, it is. It's the 63 of Riowick. He's got through. So Christoph Rosinski, sorry. I need glasses. Christoph Rosinski comes through.
To the club.
Yeah, it's because Rosinski was further down the order. And he goes a bit wide there, tries to get back up the inside. Rosinski desperate to get up in Hamilton. He can smell a P2 now. That's allowed
Hamilton
to go
in
through.
attack mode.
Yeah, that's probably why. We didn't see that. Hamilton's taking the attack mode.
Yes, he did. He almost missed it, actually, Hamilton, which would have made himself look rather silly indeed. And now Pascal Leggett has got a crucial 3 minutes of racing ahead of him. Probably the most important 3 minutes in the championship. Of course, second place looks a lot better for Pascal Leggett than third. And, well, I think it's going to be quite difficult for him to hold off the roaring Hamilton in that wonderful purple liveried car. I can't quite see who his team are. But, well, he's driven well this season as Hamilton. And whilst he's not going to be setting a light for the championship,
Michael E-Media. So
Oh, very
E-Media
interesting.
Racing. There you go. No worries. And he's going to the inside. Hamilton's got the slipstream. And he's done it. Hamilton goes to second ahead of Pascal Leggett coming into the Forest Cell. And it's all happening there. I thought that was Precker for a second, but it's not. It's his teammate getting out of the way. And now to the inside. They're going to make contact for sure. And Eggert goes through. They're wheel to wheel. Hamilton's got the inside line. He forces a big oversteer moment for Pascal, who tries to come back into the Peraltada. The long sweeping right-hander before the long start-finish straight as well. Who's going to have the advantage? Watch out for Rosinski as well. He's right there, only 5/10 back. Here we go. I think it's a bit too much done there. Hamilton with that boost of attack mode has got ahead. Hamilton takes second. Wow.
That was desperate from Pascal Leggett, but also clean as a whistle, and I think you can't blame him for trying to go for that. I thought he was going to pull off a really intelligent move and take attack mode as he was diving down, but wasn't quite to be. And 14 minutes left in this race. Of course, he's got one more attack mode to use to our knowledge up here in the commentary box, as long as there's no issues with the track again, as Cohen, I believe, is on his third attack mode, so perhaps it is working. And, well, now Rosinski trying to look forward on Pascal Leggett. And, well, Leggett would feel very disappointed not to be on the podium here.
Yep, and Eggert got to take second or third away, and it's not looking likely he's going to get either. So Norbert Precker is going to have an early Christmas present of effectively being given the title. He's going to have such a point advantage going into Zurich and Marrakesh. It's almost unbelievable as they come through now. This is on board with Rosinski as Hamilton with 13 seconds left of attack mode. The question is, though, look at this. He's now on 28%. Eggert's on 30, but Precker's still on 33. He's got the biggest of the field, barring Skolman, who has taken a new front wing.
Yes, of course. And I wonder if they are... If Precker's just going to speed up the pace a little bit. He's got the energy to burn. Is he going to try and speed up the pace and do one extra lap here, which would really throw a spanner into the works?
That'd mess everybody up. Everybody. It's about, what, 3% a lap to complete? So that's really a close one between them all. As they swing back through the Forestall Stadium. I'm trying to get back up. Rosinski's taken his third attack mode. Oh, and Precker's taken his third. So Precker's taken his attack mode now. So he's doing what you said, Tom. He's finding that pace, pushing harder, and gonna have this advantage later on. He has got a 6.6 second lead as things currently stand.
And it is a huge lead indeed for Precker. We're yet to see the mistake, though, as of yet, from any of our top runners. Usually you see at least one in these races we have so far this season. Of course, Zoltan Toth last time out. So we're yet to see the big mistake. And, well, perhaps that's going to be something that really affects us later on, as now Eggert down into a big overspeed moment.
Hamilton's dropped back. Hamilton massively dropped back. Oh, that's Rosinski going through. He slipped through on the inside. Krzysztof Rosinski takes third position. Eggert's off the podium, and that title hope is slipping away. He's going to have to fight back on the inside. Can't do it. And they touch! My God, they are really fighting hard out there today. As Eggert now off the podium and in a big slide at the exit of the Peltada, and Peterskolman back into the pit lane. All meanwhile, Rosinski is closing down on Hamilton. 7 tenths, become 6, become 5, become more than that as he enters turn 1. Hamilton's backed off massively there. Probably saving energy. Rosinski's not. Round the outside, which will become turn 3. Hamilton has the inside line. He breaks line. Hamilton's in the wall. Hamilton's in the wall. Rosinski takes through. And look at that. Pascal Leggett now trying to go around the outside. And Hamilton in major trouble once again.
And that's probably a penalty coming his way. I would imagine that was not dirty, but it was certainly a misjudged moment from Hamilton. And I think, not Hamilton, sorry, Rosinski.
Yeah.
That's my bad, I misspoke there. But, well, Hamilton will feel a little bit hard done by. And now Pascal Leggett, who's going to take their final attack mode first. 3 minutes you can use the attack mode for. And are they going to run it right to the line, I wonder?
10 minutes to go. we were waiting for that. We're saying at the same time. 10 minutes to go then. Precker is running out of attack mode. So is Rosinski. But watch out for Eggert and Hamilton. They're both going to have their final one to use throughout this race as well. Precker has got 12.0 actually. So 12-second advantage over Krzysztof Rosinski as the top 2, 3, and 4 battle together. Hamilton putting it in the wall down at the exit of turn 3. Put the spanner in the works massively. And you just don't know where to turn. Is that the title mistake we were waiting for, Tom? Because Hamilton was P7, but it was going to rocket him up that P2 to around about 4th.
Well, yes, I don't think third is particularly damaging for Pascal Leggett's purposes. However, it's all going to be about if he can take the attack mode and use it to his advantage now with 9 minutes to go in this race. As they've got to use all 3 attack modes, to my knowledge, otherwise they get penalised, like in real-life Formula E, as Rosinski let him through there.
That was a... And,
he's in the wall!
Oh,
that's a wheel disconnect. You can see, shaking rapidly, I think his wheel has disconnected. Rosinski, that is a major drama, and I think he'll be bitterly disappointed at that. That is a dramatic hardware failure from Rosinski.
And it is dropping him down the order. He's passed by Koch, and he's down to 5th now. Homewood's going to pass him and get a top 5 finish as well. But that's put Pascal Leggett back up into 2nd place and back into the title advantage that he needed to try and close the gap to Precker. But 11.6 seconds with 8 minutes to go. Precker's used all 3 of his attack modes. Pascal Leggett still has 1 left. I think, though, 12 seconds is very unlikely in the next, 5 laps we've got left.
As yes, as Precker was 1.1 seconds faster on that previous lap. Precker really has the measure of the field on this particular occasion. 15.8 seconds. That gap now up to... And of course, look at this. It's going to be a matter of energy management. Is Hamilton going to be able to get to the end with 17%? 7 minutes to go, I should say. And it's going to be all up in the air. People really in trouble are Sablox, Owen 8K. And are they even going to get to the end? We'll have to wait and see. Always going to be a couple that take the energy to the wire. And Hamilton takes his attack mode, so he'll be looking to get that 4-second interval back down and overtake Pascal Leggett. A mighty, mighty job. However, Pascal Leggett is going to need to take his third attack mode.
So already the gap is 6 seconds between Eggett and Hamilton, as you say. As Hamilton taking his attack mode now. And Eggett just starting to lap some cars now. Goes on the inside there of our own Prefect and gets back through. As the battle rages on now. And this is still amazing. I think this has been absolutely dominating by Norbert Precker. Started the race second on the grid, but got a fantastic swing and got ahead of Joshua Hamilton, who had a terrible start throughout this one as well. As they keep coming back through. Yellow in that second sector. It's the number 11. It's Rosinski. I think he's dropped down again. Well, yeah, Christoph Rosinski is in the number 11 is stopped, according to my driver tracker, down at the Forest Stadium. Yeah, there he is. Yeah, he's had a disconnect again. So that's what's brought the yellow out on the circuit.
Moved
I don't think he has. I think he stayed still, hasn't he?
I'm still waiting for Pascal to take his attack mode. The attack mode clearly not doing many wonders for Hamilton, who's yet to bring that 6 second interval back down. I think he's hit some traffic, in fairness to him. And, well, I hope Pascal knows he's got to take 3. I think he would. He is the owner of the league. So it would be quite stupid of him to make a mess up on the rules that significantly. And, well, he's got to get a move on it, Pascal Leggett.
As they come through, only a couple more minutes to go in this race. 5:38, so that is 3 laps. But Norbert Precker as well, with 70% of energy to Pascal Leggett's 15 and a 17-second advantage. This has not only been a domination, he's walked up to the Oval Office, taken the president's chair, and has effectively been his first term in the amount of time it's taken to get this advantage out. It's been absolutely fantastic. There's a little bit of problem there, though, for Eggett with some lap cars forcing each other out of the way. That was beautiful, actually, to watch. The 2 cars just take each other out, so Eggett are going to slip through to lap them. Brilliant.
It's almost like a cartoon, that, actually.
Yeah.
The 2 cars moving out of the way as we ride on board with Pascal Leggett, who has got a 5 second advantage. Now, if he does take attack mode, he will be guaranteed second place, I would imagine, barring a mistake from himself. And, well, I think that this race hasn't been quite as exciting as last week. However, we've had as much developments in the championship as we could ask for. Of course, no Zoltan Toth this week. He was frustrated with how the admins handled that 3x3 attack mode bug. And he said, right, enough's enough then. You don't need me. I'm leaving.
Not great. But I'm sure he'll be coaxed back eventually. He'll still be in the endurance part of everything as well. I think he's having a lot of fun, though, as well in the touring cars. So hopefully we'll see him in another form here on the EERC. They've got it right this week, though, with the 3 attack modes. As Prefect's passing Sazbola is now into P11 on the board. 30 seconds left for AK on his attack mode as we're getting down to the 10% where Pascal Leggett can't use his 3rd attack mode. And he's hit that now. So I don't think Pascal can use his final attack mode now, because if we go by the letter of the law of the Formula E, you can't use anything like that when you hit 10%. So it's game over. He's stuck for second.
This is interesting, as I'm trying to see. Everyone's using the management attack, though. There'll be no policing of this by default. So unless he gets reported, there is no downside to Pascal not taking his 3rd attack mode. With 9% left on his energy, it does look like he will get to the end of this particular race. Is there anyone in particular danger? I think Cohen and Owen AK are going to be in a little bit of bother, as well as Vardy is. Pascal does take his attack mode, and it does work.
Okay, so it does work. So inside the 10%, that is interesting, but it's going to run down his energy quite a lot. So he's in danger, and he's activated it with 2:20. What was it? With 2:30 to go. So that's an interesting one on the board as he's passing now. It's side by side. I can't see who it is on the driver tracker because this car, I wanted to report, a spun. There we go, it's number 12. So it was Stefan who spun coming out of the Forest sector of the track as well. And that's why he's just been lapped again for, I think, the third time today. Yep, third time he's been lapped now. As Hamilton begins to slow down a little bit more. Nearly gets taken out by a car behind as well. Who was that behind Hamilton? It was Michael Koch. Michael's trying to have a go for third place. And why wouldn't you? The battle for the podium's on. Is he letting it through? And did he let it through?
He's saving a lot of energy, Hamilton. And I don't think that is Koch. Koch is...
I'm trying to find out. Yeah.
It is, actually.
It is. It was Koch. I thought so. Fine Auto, the final Von Motorsport. He let it through. He's saving a lot of energy, you're right. Game over for him then. He's out of it, was it? 6% of energy. And with a minute to go...
Does that suggest that a certain other person on the podium is in trouble with energy?
Yes. I'm thinking the same thing as you. Pascal Leggett took that attack mode and is running low on energy. And by my calculation, we're on the penultimate lap. So the next lap will be the last lap of the race. The checkered flag will come out for Norbert Precker, who's coasting around a little bit himself, actually. But he's still got 7% of energy. There's a yellow sector 1. It's the 13 of Petter Skolman, who has stopped at the exit of turn 1, and he's got going again now.
This could be a colossal misjudgment from Pascal Leggett. And another crucial thing, looking on the telemetry, he's actually got a slight issue with his wheel. When he lifts off the throttle, there's still a little bit of throttle being applied.
Right.
So he's not even getting the full recharge potential, which could be huge into the last lap of this race. 3% in attack mode to get around this circuit. I don't know how many kilometres it is, but it's...
2.606 kilometres.
He's down to 1%, Pascal! Down to 1%! Heading in to the final lap of the race. He's got to do another lap. And he's misjudged this here, Pascal Leggett.
He's not going to do it.
And this could be huge heading into the final round of the season. He's got to lift off so much. He's out of energy.
Oh, my goodness, man. He's stopping. Because as soon as they hit 0 and the championship lead, that's the mistake we were waiting for. Pascal Leggett out of attack mode. He's cruising now round. If he didn't take the attack mode inside 10%, he would have had enough energy. You can see there's no throttle, and you can see the championship slipping away for Pascal Leggett, and it has swung back to the advantage of Norbert Precker, who is going to take a major point advantage away from Mexico City. He started second on the grid. He took the lead at the start. He was second in Santiago. He wanted to do better. He's done it in style. Norbert Precker wins the Mexico City E-Prix and takes a colossal lead in that championship. But with Michael Koch finishing now in second place, there was only a point between them, so it now changes again to 6 points. This championship swings around.
Don't celebrate just yet. He probably has enough momentum to carry it across the line here, Michael Koch. However, he's only got 2% worth of energy loss. The drivers are in trouble. Owen AK in a lot of trouble. Conan out of energy. Chong out of energy. Sabolux out of energy. Vardy out of energy. Coach does take second position. And he's very, very close
0.4 at the line. 0.4 at the line. Is Hamilton going to reach it? Can Hamilton? He's going to have to lift off now. He's got the time to Homewood. Homewood can nab a podium here. Hamilton's giving full throttle. Hamilton at the line, and he's taking it. And what was your 0.4? No, Homewood hit 0 at the line. Homewood hit 0 at the line. My God. Well, we always know, we said earlier on, right at the start of the broadcast, that energy saving could be crucial here, as we've seen in the past with
This could be crucial as well.
Oh, yes, you're
Gibson's
right.
got the energy. Chong hasn't. Is he going to be able to overtake him? He's going very, very slowly indeed. And Chong on 3% worth of energy.
Gibson stops.
And what's happened here to Gibson?
they're pitting. They've taken the flag, haven't they? Have they
Oh,
taken
they
the
have
flag?
already. There
Yes.
we go. That's our mistake.
Oh, I was going up for it then. I was like, go on, get the point. But no, actually, have they taken the flag? Because they've just come here to the pit. I'm not sure yet.
Yes,
Stephen is going to cross the line. Yeah, they've taken the flags. Okay. Okay. Stephen's the last one to cross the line and take the checkered flag. And that's it. Stephen finishes in P12. Everyone's now taking the flag. But it's Norbert Precker who takes the win. But so Hamilton dropped to third, even though he should have had second. That promoted Michael Koch to P2, and they were already 1-2 in the title, Norbert Precker and Michael Koch, coming out of Santiago, which means they're still 1-2 in the title now. And because there was a point between them, that means going into Zurich, Norbert Precker had a shot of having a 15-point gap in the title. It's been knocked out by Michael Koch, and now it's only a 5-point gap in the standings going into Zurich. Well, that changes the championship dramatically, and that is fantastic. Here's the results with Tom.
Norbert Precker takes his first victory of the season, but he takes the championship lead into the last 2 rounds in most emphatic style. Michael Koch in second position in also dramatic style. Joshua Hamilton takes a hard-fought third position. Nick Homewood in fourth. Pascal Leggett in fifth. And then Conan in sixth. Owen A.K. really, really close on the energy. He takes seventh position. Alex Strong in eighth. And then Garrett Gibson in ninth. And 10th is Earl Perfect. And then next page of results, the final page, we only have a further 4 finishers here, and that is Sabolix, Stefan, Peter Schoenemann, and Vardy. And of course, you can see the DNFs there. Let's have a quick reminder of the schedule then, as I think they've done it. As no, they haven't. So never mind. That's not one of the things on the overlay here as we go away from the Mexico City E3. Let's go to scene 2 here. And
I'll remind you that you can join us on the 5th of January for the Zurich E-Prix in Switzerland, and again on the 19th of January for the season finale in Marrakesh as well. What do you make of that race then, Tom?
Well, I thought it was spectacular. It was a slow burner, however, a lot of later drama and a lot of spectacular racing indeed, and incredible driving all around. And Pascal Leggett, well, all commiserations go out to him as he's massively choked that and perhaps the championship from this stage.
3 races down, 3 different winners, and still the same championship leader with Norbert Precker dominating here today in Mexico. We go on our Christmas break now, and we'll be back in the first weekend of January to bring you all the action again from the EERC Season 4 of Formula E's challenges as well. Zurich and Marrakesh to round out the title. From Tom Dillon and myself, Joshua Birch. Have a very Merry Christmas and a very happy holiday season as well. We'll see you in 2022. And from all of us here on the EERC team, thank you very much for your company this year, and we'll see you as we go forward to 2022. Good night.
Good night.